All right, so you've seen this Kash Patel stuff flying around, right? The headlines are insane, arrest imminent, judge threatens jail. Come on, people. Let's pump the brakes for a second and actually look at what's really going on. Because half of what you're seeing online is pure, unadulterated clickbait. Here's the thing. Kash Patel is absolutely in the hot seat. There's no denying that. But is he about to be hauled off in handcuffs? Probably not. And that's a huge difference. Look, the guy's got some serious baggage. First, we've got this whole Mar-a-Lago classified documents investigation. He was forced to testify before a grand jury under immunity. Now, that right there should raise some eyebrows. Why would he invoke the Fifth Amendment to begin with? You only do that if you think you might incriminate yourself. You know what I mean? So, whatever he knew about those documents was clearly something he didn't want to share without protection. Then, prosecutors step in and give him immunity, meaning they promised not to use his testimony against him. But here's the kicker. That immunity doesn't cover perjury. If he lied to the grand jury, he's still in deep trouble. And the fact that this whole thing is sealed tighter than Fort Knox means we have no idea what he actually said. That's why all these claims about lethal evidence and confirmed arrest are just total speculation. We don't know what went down in that room. It could be damning, it could be nothing. We're flying blind here. And don't even get me started on the Democrats accusing him of running ideological purges at the FBI. Senator Durbin even suggested he might have committed perjury during his confirmation hearings. That's a big accusation, especially coming from someone with Durbin's clout. But again, it's just an accusation. It's not an indictment. It's not an arrest warrant. It's a senator saying, hey, if these reports are true, this guy might have lied under oath. There's a difference. Then there's the Epstein files fiasco. Patel claims he can't release certain FBI records because of court orders. But other people are saying that's BS, that he has more leeway than he's letting on, and that he's basically obstructing justice. Look, the Epstein case is a cesspool of corruption, and everyone wants to know what the FBI knows. But just because people are demanding answers doesn't mean Patel's about to be thrown in jail for contempt. It's a pressure campaign, and he's resisting. So, what's the real deal? Patel's facing intense scrutiny, he's got some major legal risks hanging over his head, and he's definitely not winning any popularity contests on the left. But these viral videos with their dramatic titles and countdown clocks, they're playing on people's emotions, not reporting actual facts. You've got to be careful what you believe online, especially when it comes to politics. These people are masters of manipulation. They take a grain of truth, blow it up into a massive, sensationalized story, and then rake in the clicks and views. And honestly, it's working. People are so eager to see someone like Patel taken down that they're willing to believe anything, regardless of the evidence. Here's what you need to remember. Just because someone is a plausible future defendant doesn't mean they're about to be arrested tomorrow. There's a huge difference between legal risk and confirmed arrest. And until we see actual charges filed, actual warrants issued, and actual evidence presented, we need to take all these arrest imminent claims with a massive grain of salt. Seriously though, we gotta be smarter than this. We gotta demand actual evidence, not just sensationalized headlines. Otherwise, we're just playing into their game. You know what I mean? So let's really break down this Kash Patel situation, right? The grand jury thing is huge, but people are missing the point. He took the fifth. He lawyered up and said, I'm not saying a damn thing that could get me in trouble. That tells you everything. He knew he was walking into a minefield. And then the prosecutors give him immunity? Come on. That's not because they like him. It's because they needed him to talk. They believed he had information that could help their case against Trump, and they were willing to cut him a deal to get it. Now, did he spill the beans on Trump? Did he lie to protect himself? We don't know. But here's the thing. If he lied, even with immunity, he's screwed. Perjury is a serious crime, and they can absolutely come after him for that. But the Democrats, they're already sharpening their knives. right? They see him as this Trump loyalist who's been trying to politicize the FBI from day one. And honestly, I wouldn't put it past him. These guys are all about loyalty to Trump above everything else, even the rule of law. Durbin's perjury warning, that's not just some random comment. That's a senior senator putting him on notice. He's saying, we're watching you, Patel. We know what you've been up to. And if we find out you lied to Congress, you're gonna pay. And the Epstein files, you've gotta be kidding me. That whole thing is a black hole of corruption and cover-ups. Everyone's trying to figure out who was involved, who was protected, and what the FBI knows. And Patel's claiming he can't release certain records because of court orders. Yeah, I'm not buying it. I think he's hiding something. I think he's trying to protect someone. And honestly, that's probably what's driving a lot of this. People are pissed. They want answers, and they're not gonna let Patel get away with stonewalling them. So, yeah, the viral videos are over the top. They're designed to get clicks and views. But there's a reason why people are so eager to believe them. There's a reason why they want to see Patel taken down. It's because they see him as part of this whole corrupt system that's been protecting the powerful for far too long. But we can't just rely on sensationalized headlines and conspiracy theories. We need to demand actual evidence. We need to hold these guys accountable through legal and political processes. And honestly, that's going to be a long, hard fight. Let's be real. He's Trump's guy. That's protection right there. The Justice Department is not going to go after him while Trump has any kind of power. You know what I mean? It's just not going to happen. So even if there's a mountain of evidence against him, it's going to be tough to get anything to stick. But that doesn't mean we should give up. It means we need to keep the pressure on. We need to keep demanding answers. We need to make sure that everyone knows what Patel's been up to. And we need to be ready to act when the opportunity arises. Because here's the thing, this isn't just about Kash Patel. It's about the rule of law. It's about accountability. It's about making sure that no one is above the law, not even the FBI director. And seriously though, that's worth fighting for. You know what I mean? It's all we got. But the thing that really gets me, seriously though, is this whole innocent until proven guilty thing. People act like it's some kind of magic shield. Like, just because you haven't been convicted doesn't mean you're not a shady character. It just means they haven't gotten you yet. And let's be honest, the legal system is a joke half the time anyway. It's all about who has the best lawyers, who can spin the best narrative, and who can afford to drag things out until everyone forgets what they were even mad about in the first place. You know what I mean? So, yeah, maybe Patel hasn't been arrested. Maybe he's not gonna be arrested. But that doesn't mean he's some kind of innocent victim. It just means he's good at playing the game. And honestly, that's even more infuriating. I gotta tell you, this whole thing stinks of corruption, plain and simple. You've got a guy who's clearly loyal to Trump above all else, who's been accused of politicizing the FBI, who's stonewalling Congress on the Epstein files, and he's still walking around free. Come on, it's like these guys think they're untouchable. They think they can do whatever they want, and they'll never face any consequences. And honestly, they might be right. That's the scary part. But we can't let them get away with it. We can't just sit back and watch them dismantle our democracy piece by piece. We have to fight back, we have to hold them accountable, and we have to make sure that they know that they're not above the law. Look, I'm not saying we should go out and start a revolution or anything, but we need to be informed, we need to be engaged, and we need to be ready to vote these guys out of office. That's the only way we're gonna fix this mess. And honestly, it's not gonna be easy. These guys are powerful, they're well connected, and they have a lot of money. But we have something that they don't have. We have the truth on our side, and that's a powerful weapon. So let's use it. Let's spread the word. Let's demand accountability. And let's make sure that Kash Patel and everyone else like him faces justice. Because seriously though, our democracy depends on it. You know, it's funny. People get so caught up in the details, the legal jargon, the he said, she said, they forget what's really at stake. It's not just about one guy. It's about the whole system. It's about whether we're gonna let these guys get away with anything they want, or whether we're gonna hold them accountable. And honestly, I'm tired of being let down. I'm tired of seeing these guys walk free while the rest of us play by the rules. It's not fair and it's not right. And we need to do something about it. So, yeah, maybe the viral videos are over the top. Maybe they're sensationalized, but they're tapping into something real. They're tapping into the anger, the frustration, the sense that something is deeply wrong. And honestly, that's a good thing. We need to be angry. We need to be frustrated. We need to be motivated to change things. Because if we're not, nothing's going to change. It's really that simple. So, let's keep talking about Kash Patel. Let's keep demanding answers, and let's keep fighting for a better future. Because seriously though, it's worth it. It's all we have. I just hope people aren't too jaded to care anymore, you know? That's the real danger. If people just throw up their hands and say, what's the point? It's all rigged anyway, then we're truly screwed. But I still have hope. I still believe that we can turn things around. I still believe that we can create a more just and equitable society. But it's gonna take work. It's gonna take effort. And it's gonna take all of us working together. You know what I mean?